Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, whatever time of day this video finds you. It's your boy Jay here, and today we're going to talk about something that I thought wouldn't be worth talking about anymore upon the reveal of Monster Hunter Wilds, right? I kind of scrapped the video. But upon thinking about it some more, I think I got a new idea, kind of, where I think I should talk about this again, right? So up on your screen right now, you're looking at an older video of mine, right? Where I compare new jungle to old jungle, right? And this is back in Sunbreak's demo days where it's like, yo, jungle's coming back. And, you know, I talked about how it's a map coming back from the past and I compare it to its past iteration, right? So jungle is, you know, a map that's been in Monster Hunter for a hot minute, you know what I'm saying? But they brought it back in Sunbreak in a new way where, you know, it still has the same philosophy as like the world maps with the interconnectedness, the no loading screens. But, you know, when you look at the old map, you can see where they drew the inspiration for some of the areas that are in jungle, right? And the same goes for Flooded Forest and Sandy Plains, right? Those maps were in previous Monster Hunter games, and there are certain points on the map that are the same, right? Where you're like, oh, this is from Tri way back in the Gap, but they changed it a little bit to suit this game, right? For example, in the Flooded Forest, they took out, you know, the parts where you needed to swim, right? But there was still parts on the map where like you jumped over the waterfall, like that's still a part of the map, you know what I mean? So they brought these old maps to the current day and they still functioned in a new map type of way. And I thought that was really cool, right? Rather than, you know, having to create so many new areas, they can take an area from the past, revamp it, make it fit the new game, and not, you know, expand the universe too much, right? Because I mean, at this point, Monster Hunter is 20 years old, you know what I mean? So, you know, you got to keep making new stuff, keep making new stuff, keep making new stuff. Well, you could, you know, dig into your bag and go back to the old stuff, revamp it, put a lot of work into it, put a lot of energy into it, and come up with something new for the future. So the old video I was gonna make was, hey, what kind of maps from the past would you want to see get the jungle, Flooded Forest, Sandy Plains treatment in Monster Hunter 6, right? And like I was thinking about this before we got the reveal of Wild. We were still calling it Monster Hunter 6, blah blah blah, you know, and I wanted to have a discussion about maybe some of the maps that aren't as good or maps that people don't like could get a revamp and get changed up just a little bit, but still be the same map, but be much better than its past iteration, right? So when Wilds came out and I saw the map, you know what I'm saying? I saw the trailer and I saw how like the map is huge and it seems like the map's being a whole lot bigger or different. It's gonna be a focus of the game. I was like, oh, they ain't gonna bring back none of the old maps because the maps aren't gonna be like how they used to be. So I was like, I gotta scrap the video. I can't talk about it. Like it would be a moot point. However, hear me out. So whether it's going to be open world or just one huge map with all the biomes interconnected a la a bigger guiding lands, right? What if, you know, we get a new map for Wilds, clearly, right? Like we're going to get a new map. It's going to have all the stuff interconnected. It's going to be one big, you know, world and everything's going to be great. We're going to love that, right? But now I know I'm putting the cart before the horse here, but what if for the G rank expansion, we go back to the region that Monster Hunter 4U took place in and brought back those maps, but all crammed together, interconnected, right? All right, look, take a look at this 4U map right here, right? Now this is usually what's on the bottom screen of your 3DS, right? And there's like icons on here. You can click to go to different towns as you unlock them as you play through the game. But here is a picture of the bottom screen with no icons on it, right? And you can kind of see how it's all one big interconnected map, kind of, right? So like you could see like the ancestral steppe kind of in the middle. You can see the volcanic hollow down here in the bottom left. You can see Chico Sands in the bottom right, and then like a little bit to the east is probably the Primal Forest, right? And then to the north of the Primal Forest, you got the Great Desert. As you can see, Daran Moran on the picture doing the damn thing over here, you know what I'm saying? And then if you go all the way to the west, right out here, you could see the Frozen Seaway, right? And that's like right under Dundorma, right, where the G rank hall is at and where his immenseness is chilling at, you know what I'm saying? So this, you could bring this whole thing back, bring all of those maps back, right? And have them interconnected. And of course, you'd have to change them to fit the design philosophy of, Wilds, right? So like Volcanic Hollow could no longer be, a trash map, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of those one-way jump off points, maybe with the mount, you could do the jumping thing that we saw in the trailer to get back up, and you can have the areas that are in those maps, but also of course more areas, much like how Jungle did and Sandy Plains did and Flooded Forest did, to interconnect those maps and have it be one big volcanic part. And of course, you'd have the ability to go to Hearth and Valhabar and Chico Sands, but maybe not Dundorma, right? And the reason why I say not Dundorma, because it's the castle town, right? It's the town with the castle connected to it. It gets attacked by monsters all the time. I guess our reason for going back to this region is maybe we can have a first class dangerous monster, aka Black Dragon. Maybe they make a new one and it attacks Dundorma and is actually successful in its attack, and then that throws the entire region into chaos and messes with the ecosystem, and that's why we get a call to go back to this region in Wilds and help restabilize it, because of our deeds in wherever Wilds is taking part. You know what I'm saying? We're becoming like a famous hunter and stuff, and then this new Black Dragon shows up, destroys part of Dundorma. It's like, oh shit, we need an elite hunter to come help us out. And then you go back to this region and everything is all messed up and everything is everywhere, and you got to explore the whole region in its totality, right? Similar to what we did in Monster Hunter 4, where with the caravan, and we were traveling and we got a boat and then we got a ship and then we had the caravan, the carts and stuff. But instead of having all that, linking it together with cutscenes, we could just play it, right? So you can maybe start off in Valhabar, which is kind of in the middle of the map, and then you got to go to Hearth and get this new weapon or get this new ability to, I don't know, change your weapons because it's master rank. There's a new mechanic. You got to go down there and go visit the Trovarians, and they will help unlock this new part. So then you got to walk your way to Hearth and the Volcanic Hollow, or maybe even it could start as the Sunken Hollow like it did in 4U, and you got to fight the monster again, and then it becomes a Volcanic Hollow, and then they unlock the, you know what I'm saying? Like you could relive portions of the story in this new 6th generation game, but instead of just a cutscene like, yeah, we went to Hearth. Nah, you gotta walk there yourself, jump on your mount and ride over there, and then maybe when you get there or on the way there, you have your own adventure, right? And you really get the feeling of, oh, I'm going through this region again, like, oh snap, they still got Chico Sands. And then you go over there and you get, new partners, or maybe you get new things for your mount or whatever. And of course, like, it wouldn't be a cut carbon copy of the game, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that. But it would be an interesting, like, wink wink, nudge nudge, nudge nudge, like, hey, you guys remember 4U, you know what I'm saying? Nah, 4U better. All the memes and stuff. But it would be an interesting wink wink, nudge nudge to the players that played it back then. It would still be new to the new players coming in, and it would still be new enough because traveling through the entire region, instead of like having cutscenes that show you like getting shipwrecked, or you got the airship and now you can fly up to where Dundorma is, like, nah, you make the trip yourself on foot, right? You make the trip yourself, like, hey, we need you to go to the Great Desert, and you just leave from Valhabar and travel east until you get to the Great Desert. You see the Daran Moran off in the distance and you say, I bet, and you just run over there and you go fight it. Like, dog, that sounds like a fever dream come true, and I think it would be an awesome experience to have. But yeah, so instead of which map do you want to return from previous series, I mean, hey, you could reply in the comments with the map. I was gonna make a case for Deserted Island, you know what I'm saying? Especially if swimming comes back, I want to see Deserted Island done again with modern technology, interconnected zones, no loading screens. I think it would be dope, but I don't think that's really gonna suit what Wilds is trying to do. So I went off in this direction, like maybe we can revisit an entire region that has multiple maps on it, interconnected, like what we think Wilds may be. But hey, like I said, I'm putting the cart before the horse on this one, because we don't even know what Wilds is gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? We don't know how open world it is, we don't know how the maps are gonna be made, but I just had this idea and I wanted to come here and share it with you guys. Comment down below what you think about my idea. Let me know if you don't like it, or let me know what other regions you would like to visit from past Monster Hunter games that you think deserve a refresh, another look at, that could be improved with modern console technology and stuff like that. So yes, I do plan on replying to each and every comment that hits this video, people, and as usual, happy hunting. Peace.